Good evening, noobs. I have a really quick video for you today. Stefan from One Last Blade and I, we live in relatively the same area, and he has offered for me to come on his channel and do a bat rep with him. He has asked me to bring Deathwatch, which excites me because with all the Army of Renown stuff out there right now, I am excited to really play it. I have never actually piloted the Army of Renown at 2,000 points, so with that in mind, I want to leave it up to you, the viewers, which list I actually am going to take. So I have two lists that I'm curious in playing right now, and I want to talk to you about them. So we'll do just that. The first one I'm calling Melta Melta Melta, and the idea came to me months and months and months ago, before there was an Army of Renown, where I played my buddy who played Harlequins, and he had fusion pistols on like everything in his whole army. So I said, can I do the same thing with Deathwatch? And no, you 100% can't. But this is as close as I can get. So the first unit on the list is a captain on bike. This is a firstborn captain. He is there just to buff. That's all he does. He has a lightning claw. That's his only singular upgrade. Otherwise, he has the optimized priority aura, and he can go ahead and allow a unit to still do an action and shoot without that action failing, and I don't have to spend 2 CP for the pleasure. He also has that giant base, so I can run around, turn him sideways, and give a huge bubble of his reroll 1 aura. My only other character is a Primaris Chaplain on bike, because why wouldn't you? This thing, even after the points increase, is absolutely gnarly. He has the whole shebang. He's the warlord, he has wise orators, so he gets to have 2 litanies. He has the Master of Sanctity, so he gets those to go off on 2s. He has the Beacon Angelus, so I can go ahead and teleport a unit to him once per game. He's just got it all. He has a Ties That Bind aura. He also has that giant base, so I can turn him sideways. Ties That Bind means that I can point one unit and they get obsec, and if they're already obsec, which hint, everything in a Deathwatch list again is they get double obsec. And then he of course has Recitation of Focus, so I point at one unit, they get +1 to hit, and then in shooting, and then I have the Canticle of Hate, because why wouldn't you? That is +2 to charge, and then also +3 inches to pile-ins and consolidate. So you can have a unit come in from the Beacon Angelus, be next to this guy. They only need a 7-inch charge. They then get a 6-inch pile-in and a 6-inch consolidate for a ton of free movement. So, of course, you bring this guy. So he's always built. For troops, I have an Indomitor kill team. This is kind of the clutch linchpin of the whole army. So this is 4 Boltstorm aggressors, 1 in Scepter for the fallback and shoot, and then of course the 5 heavy intercessors with the Hellstorm bolt rifles. These guys are rolling around, strength 5, shooting almost everywhere except for the aggressors, putting out a ton of shots. And then of course with the Specialism Extremis stratagem, you can make every single hit automatically wound. So these guys will go ahead and put down some hate and discontent, I think. First Proteus kill team. Everything else I have is the Proteus kill team, so lots of firstborn in this list. The Proteus kill team has a black shield for the 1 CP heroic intervention strat. I have lots of chain swords on here. The black shield has a lightning claw and a thunder hammer. The veteran sergeant has a heavy thunder hammer, so lots of attacks on the sergeant for 4 damage. It's never good, or is never bad. And then the black shield, of course, has a weapon skill of 2, so he will be hitting on 3s with his thunderhammer. I've given as many firstborn storm shields as I possibly can, so they'll be rolling around most of the time with a 2-up armor save, which is fantastic. My first team here is my first Combi Melta team here. There are 9 Combi Meltas in each of these teams. So Combi Melta only has a range of 12. Its Melta range is only 6 inches, but hey, I figured this could be fun. You come out of Deep Strike or whatever, you at least get a whole bunch of Melta shots into something. So popping Terminators, popping Dreadknights, hopefully. We'll see lots of storm shields, and just to keep some of these guys a little cheap, I gave them chain swords. Of course, we have the Vanguard veteran in there also for fallback and shoot. Who knew? Then I have another one of the melee kill teams is exactly the same as the other one. I will point out that the veteran biker is in there for the fallback and charge stratagem. So lots, again, got a couple of heavy hitters on there, but mainly chain swords, and the reason is, again, the specialism extremis stratagem, which is only usable once per kill team per game, and it's 3 CP, but still, that's, you can drown your opponent in saves just with tons of chain sword attacks. And then I have another one of those exact same combi melta teams. Nothing is different. 9 combi meltas coming down, fall back and shoot, the whole 9 yards. And then finally, I have one. This was kind of a silly pick because for the Army of Renown, you have to buy a specialism for every kill team. This is only 5-man. These guys all have shotguns in there, basically just going to sit in my backfield and hold my backfield objectives, and if you charge them, you get 5d6 flamer shots in the face. Hooray! That's my first one. It's goofy. Is this a good list? Absolutely not. The combi melters are very expensive. Every one of those combi melta guys costs right around 35 points to 30 points. It's nuts. Don't actually recommend this competitive field, but I think it's a whole lot of fun. The second list here I'm calling Terminators Galore. I made this list specifically to try to cram as many Terminators into my Proteus kill teams as I could, and the reason is simply that Stefan loves his Grey Knight Terminators, and why wouldn't you? They are gorgeous models, and I just wanted to kind of mirror him as much as I could and still have a decent playable Deathwatch list. You'll see the exact same thing. I have the same captain on bike, except he is rocking a storm shield in this, and then I have a Primaris Chaplain on bike with everything that's exactly the same. So he has the same litanies, he has the same warlord traits, he has the same relic. For troops, we're going with a Fortis kill team, because hey, ass blasters. I love my assault plasma blasters. These guys will be able to put down 15 strength 6, minus 4 AP, 1 damage, strength 7 minus 2 damage. If I overcharge, they can do some work. Of course, you have the 15 shots also coming in from the intercessor. And if I want to get real cheeky, I can white scars everybody, and instead of advancing and shooting, you get to shoot all assault weapons with no penalty. So looking at these guys to really do some work if I take this list. Then you have the first Proteus kill team, and they are all the same except for the last one. So I have 3 kill teams that are the same. And this list would definitely combat squad. So you have 5 Terminators and 5 veterans in each of these. And I would combat squad them into 2 5-mans from each. So each of those 5-mans would be broken down to a range specialty and a melee specialty. So in the range groups, you're going to have 3 Terminators with Storm Bolters and Cyclone Missile launchers, and then they'll have 2 regular veterans following them around. I just have the standard Deathwatch bolt gun and a Storm Shield. They'll die first. They'll take all the wounds first. Hopefully you'll be sitting in cover. And the idea is to give those Terminators the time to really launch those missiles and do some damage. The melee teams, though, will have 2 Storm Shield Thunderhammer veterans, a heavy Thunderhammer Watch Sergeant, and 2 Terminators with Storm Shields and Thunderhammers. So 5 Thunderhammers is a lot of damage. No Black Shields in this list because, again, I wanted to cram as many Terminators as I could into them. Is that good? Probably not, but it's fun. Every single one of these teams is exactly the same. So I would have 3 5-man Terminator melee squads with Thunderhammers or heavy Thunderhammers, and then I would have 3 ranged squads with Cyclone Missile Launchers and Storm Bolters, and then again, back shield, objective holder. I have a Proteus kill team, all with shotguns, who are just going to sit in the back and do actions or whatever. And that's it. So those are the lists that I'm thinking about bringing. Go ahead and leave me any comments below about what you would like me to take. This is a poll of sorts, although YouTube doesn't really support polls. So if you don't make a comment and you don't tell me which list you want me to bring, I will probably flip a coin. None of these are particularly good lists. None of these are highly competitive. I think they'll be really fun. The sooner everybody votes, the better, because Unlike my greyknights, which are mostly completely painted, my Deathwatch is the exact opposite. They are mostly not painted. So depending on which list it is, I will have to paint more models versus the other lists. So let me know as soon as you can. And of course, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and all that jazz. And of course, don't forget to call your mother.